And it looks like we are, in fact, getting started. The uncle does not have a sword today.
Uh-huh.
We got an early map check, and that was really quick. I saw a crystal on Hera and a red crystal at Eastern Palace.
Oh, nice. And I think it was a crystal again at Desert Palace down in the south, what would that be, the southwest corner.
That's correct. That was the number 7 crystal was at Desert Palace.
It's always interesting when you see all crystals in the light world.
And we got the fire rod from the uncle today.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, like you were saying, it's really interesting to see what dungeons end up being pendant to the Dark World, because we may not see them completed. The pendant Turtle Rock play is always interesting, because usually what happens is that there's a required item in there anyway, so you're going to have to end up going in there regardless.
Mm-hmm. Everybody fighting their way through and getting into the castle.
And they're going to be looking for a bomb. They're going to be killing green guards with pots somewhere along the line to try to find it.
Definitely would prefer to do that than to try to get some out of the rats or snakes, or their snakes ropes further on.
Certainly. They do have to be careful of their magic. Okay, I lied. There's a sword right there.
That's almost like a free early second weapon. That's kind of nice.
I was gonna say they're gonna have to be careful of their magic because they only have 8 shots to begin with the fire rod from full bar.
Yeah, but now they can just save those. They can use that if they like to deal with the guards that would take a few hits with that fighter sword. But otherwise, it's they've just got some opportunities now to light things on fire if they need to.
Yep, it's gonna be smooth sailing from here on out. And Marty with her first bomb of the second bomb of the restream.
Nice. Got a nice 300 rupee cash there. That's definitely going to give them some options. Make sure they can pay off the bottle salesman and do some other necessary stuff early on.
Yep, if they need to buy bombs further in Kakariko, they have the ability to do so.
I wonder if we're seeing that fire rod early on, if we might see Skull Woods come into play as soon as they get into the Dark World. I'd be wondering if that's a place you want to check.
Without the Moon Pearl, it's a bit of a tough check, but if they find it early, they might.
One of 3 medallions. We've got the Ether Medallion.
And to answer a question in chat, Supreme Mook asking if the numbers attached to the crystals are indicative of the order that you need to do them. No, not strictly. You can do dungeons in whatever order you want. The numbering is indicative of the way the game wants you to do it, but I mean, as the randomizer should show you, we really don't care for the game telling us what to do.
It's interesting watching the different strategies moving through the escape sequence.
Yeah, there's not much room for differentiation, but the movement can sometimes be interesting to see. Skirt the wall, cut right through the middle.
Yeah, and whether the green guards are playing nice, trying to get a few bombs happening. Nothing, no luck yet for, it's Sinhi, right?
I believe so, yes. So hopefully, I mean, Sinhi and Lyra Silveria have plenty of room to find a bomb, so hopefully they'll be able to get that done.
Mm-hmm. And they haven't found a key yet, so this chest upcoming here in the cross is, I think, definitely has to be a key.
Yeah, the randomizer logic will ensure, generally speaking, that even if you use keys in the dumbest way possible, you'll be able to get through any dungeon that has keys. So the game will be giving them a key somewhere along the line, as you say, probably right here.
The other key they're going to need is going to be hiding inside a rat. Who knows how he got it?
Yep, and we saw Lyra Severia getting an 8 bomb drop, meaning that all of our race stream runners have a bomb.
Nice. Now we should note there are 4 people being restreamed. There's actually, I think, close to 20 people racing today. Yeah.
Let's see what we get out of the back with Escape. We got Blue Mail, 5 bomb capacity upgrade, and the burrito map.
Nice to see the blue mails. Just a little bit of a security safety measure at this point. Not that these runners probably need it, but yeah, it feels kind of nice. We don't have very many hearts. They've got 3 hearts total right now, so.
Yeah.
And as they all make their way out of the escape, not very much waiting for them in the sanctuary. Just a couple of arrows.
Nope. But now that we're out in the world of Hyrule, we're going to see possibly divergence on runners. They're all going to be making their way over to Kakariko probably, but whether they're going to do so by way of the Lumberjack Ledge and Lost Woods remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have AK Drizzt not doing the check by the Lumberjack Cave. I think we'll see if Sinhi maybe gives us a peek at what's on that ledge up there. Nope.
Looks like Marty's going to, though.
Uh-huh.
And the lantern in the Lost Woods spot.
Nice. It's nice to find that early. Again, a lot of these runners will be really comfortable with dark rooms, but it's just nice to not have to worry about that and to know that those rooms are in logic.
Yes, the randomizer will never force you to navigate a dark room. So if you navigate a dark room, you know you're out of sequence. Mm-hmm. Which means that any item that you find beyond there can't logically lead to the lamp, which can pull our runners into some very interesting logical knots if they decide to go ahead and pursue the out-of-logic chain.
Mm-hmm. Not much. It looked like a blue rupee, I think, on that on the shelf. So Aghanim not required from that angle. We'll see if we need to kill him in order to get access to the Dark World through the Hyrule Castle portal.
Yes, which can definitely happen if we don't find our mitts and gloves, or gloves and hammer, rather.
Mm-hmm.
With Drizzt team making their way into Blind's basement, we're gonna see just some more bombs, a capacity upgrade, more bombs.
Man, stockpiling.
Yeah, looks like Blind's got a little bit of an explosion.
Maybe he's making maybe he's the real enemy of this game. Hey, we've got a sword, a master sword.
There's a master sword, which actually puts Aghanim into logical access. With just a master sword and the lamp, you can logically get to Aghanim.
You are right. I wonder if anyone's going to make an early play. It would be a bit of a gamble at this point. There's still a fair amount of the overworld they can check, but I don't know. It might not be a bad move.
I've seen it happen before, and the seed kind of is asking you to go there with Blue Mail, the master sword, and the lantern.
Yeah, we do need, in order to do anything other than check the pyramid ledge, we do need to get that moon pearl, though.
Yep. Nothing much at the bottom of the well so far, just a bunch of rupees and health. Yeah. Not that our runners are going to mine the health.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see some health at this point of the game. I mean, you want your progression items, of course, but if you can't get that...
And there's the moon pearl.
Ah, there we go.
I'm sorry to cut you off. What were you saying?
No, it's okay. It's nice to get a little bit of stockpiling happening early on. You'd rather get rupees and health than like bomb upgrades probably, and arrow upgrades, I would say.
Yep. And we did see the Bombos medallion on the bottle merchant.
Mm-hmm. So unlikely we're going to get trolled by a medallion, but having said that, we don't know where
that. Commentator's curse.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't seen yet where the pendants are. It's possible that there could be pendants at either Misery Mire or Turtle Rock, which require medallions for entrance.
which then means we're less likely to see them. As Lyra Silveria, the first to exit Kakariko and make the downward sweep, we're going to see her check the library and then the race game.
Just a few bucks in the library. Opting to not bomb the way through the house, the brother's house, to check the race game, but nothing much there. It was a good move.
Good call, and we got Dristy doing it blind, so he's going to be slightly disappointed by what he sees.
Yeah. Now we're going to see a bit of divergence, possibly. We may see most of them go to Southern Hyrule, but, you know, there's some options now.
Looks like Lyra is opting not to do that. If Lyra were going to be making the South Shore loop, she would have started at Link's house. So, looks like Lyra is going to be setting up Houlihan play, actually. Which, it's not a bad play. You get 225 rupees, I believe. And that's going to put her in the Zora range. The reason the Houlihan room happens is that if the game ever does not know where you're supposed to go after you do a screen transition, like falling in a hole, it will send you to the Houlihan room. And runners have figured out how to set that up, how to unlock the camera correctly to force that to happen whenever they want.
Yeah, the only one I've been able to pull off is the classic bomb yourself into the grave that leads into the back of Escape.
Yep, and it also means that I lied, and Lyra is going to be checking the South Shore loop. Just did it by way of Houlihan.
It's nice to have that Master Sword to take care of those little mini Moldorms.
Otherwise, it could be a bit of a pain in the butt.
Nice to get that powder early on for Sinhi. Just a safety item, potentially with the... could be a fetch quest if we get the hammer in a reasonable amount of time.
Yes, indeed. It looks like nothing at the bottom of the boat. Severia is going to do the Moldorm loop now. And then we'll see if they proceed to Ice Rod Cave. We might see Lyra do Ice Rod Cave. She did set up for Zora, so either play would be logical for her.
I don't think it's going to be long unless we find something really interesting in this ice cave. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some Aghanim plays.
Okay. Tempered Sword in 15 minutes. Okay, yeah.
Well, I don't know. That just seems like another thing pointing us to Aghanim.
Yeah, because it's gonna. Well, they need the Moon Pearl to really take use of it, because in a bunny, when Link is in bunny form, he's restricted from a lot of actions. He can't attack. I believe he can't use items except for the mirror. And he can't really do much of anything except run around.
We do have the Moon Pearl, though. It was in the back of that chicken coop.
Ah, that's right. You're right.
So, yeah. Are we going to see that? No, we're going to see AK Drizzt is heading east. Maybe going to check out Sahasrarla's hut. See if there's anything interesting in there.
3 items in Sahasrarla's cave makes that a decent play. It would be better if he could reliably clear Eastern, but that would need the bow.
We'll see if the hobo under the bridge has anything for Sinhi. No.
And with that Moon Pearl in hand, they're actually going to also be able to check the waterfall. Oh, well, Dristy just found the bow in the back of Saha, so that Eastern play is looking very attractive to him right now.
Yeah, he can full clear that. He's got his. I mean, probably these are not too horrible dark rooms, but you know, they've got the lamp, so they can they can just make their way through and take care of those Armos Knights and get their first crystal at you know, probably about 20 minutes in.
Indeed. And as I was saying, we're seeing Sandy go in and out of the waterfall of wishing. The Moon Pearl has a strange property where it resets Link's stance when he moves from underworld to overworld. And part of that stance is whether or not you're swimming. So if you go in then out then back in, the game will treat you as if you're standing. And the game will then give you the water walking ability as you go.
Mm-hmm. Not enough rupees, I think, to make the Zora play. Nothing on that ledge up there. Now, it should be
No,
noted.
but we are going to see Lyra check it.
Yeah. None of these runners have flippers. They're all doing a glitch that allows them to swim without them. I believe you have to be 1 pixel away from the screen transition and jump into the water, and you can fool your way into swimming your way through Hyrule.
Yep, Lyra did cancel it though, which isn't a bad move because Fake Flippers has an unfortunate property. If you're in the Fake Flipper state and you get hit, the game will attempt to put you back into where you entered deep water from. But if you didn't enter deep water on that screen, the game will simply lock.
Yeah, that is not a good position to be in.
No, interesting to see happen the first time, but then you never want to see it again.
Yeah. We'll see what our big fish friend has for us today.
He has got a scam.
Mm-hmm. Sounded too good to be true.
Usually means it is.
As Drizzt is working in the way through Eastern Palace here, seeing some strategies using the sword beams, which make that skeleton room just nice, easy breeze.
I've been informed that actually in Randomizer, the game is programmed to automatically kill you in 1 hit if you're in the Fake Flip state to prevent that lock I was talking about.
Right. That's pretty good. I think that would probably prevent you from doing a save and quit, right? So.
I'm not sure. I haven't tried it myself. These are glitches that are present in the Japanese 1.0 version of the game, meaning that if you have access to it, you can do this. You can do most of this yourself.
Yeah, if anybody is watching this and thinking this looks fun and you've never tried it, I definitely recommend it. You don't have to be a speedrunner of this game, though it definitely helps. I am not, but I still have a lot of fun with randomizers, so I would check it out. Everybody being drawn east. Everybody getting that bow.
Once you find the bow, there's no reason not to go into Eastern at this point. You have everything you need to clear it, and more importantly, it's not Aghanim.
Mm-hmm. Yep, any excuse not to go to Aghanim. Having said that, we're pretty poor for Dark World access items so far. We don't have either pair of gloves. We don't have a hammer. So it's not looking great, but they've got a little bit more they can do before that's the necessary play.
Yeah, but at the moment, unless Armos has something really interesting, it looks like Aghanim might end up being the play.
Drizzt going into the Armos fight with not a huge amount of arrows. Can't be too willy-nilly with shots.
Yep, he's got to hit most of them.
Getting through it, no problem.
Rook's putting a good link in chat if you are interested in getting into this rando. There's a simulator of sorts where you just click through the game and it will show you what items exist at each point. And it will let you play the randomizer without having to actually play the randomizer. It's a good way to train yourself on the seed logic.
That's really interesting.
Shout out to Kyong92 for making that happen.
So it looks like Drizzt not quite ready to go to Aghanim yet.
No, I wonder what his play is going to be.
Maybe Agina's
Looks like the
cave.
Agina, yep.
Other than that, I don't think there's anything else they can check at this point.
No. Agina's one of those interesting locations that's really out of the way unless you can chain it into a desert play or chain it off of a mire play. And the problem is that it usually goes orphaned by a lot of runners. Usually that's not a problem, but there's always a case where something important tied in there.
Marty picking up his crystal. He got right down to the last arrow, but he managed to get it done. Wow, Sydney with a really good quick kill. Nice.
That's how you do it in NMG. That was almost perfect.
I've only managed that a couple times, so it's really fun to see that done.
Big bunch, nothing in the back of Agina's cave. So it looks like, and Marty is correctly sensing that Agina is Aghanim is the play.
Might have gotten himself a little tiny bit of a lead here, as far as one can have a lead at 20 minutes in.
Yeah, there's not really too much of a lead that one can have at 20 minutes, because it could get wiped away with routing and execution in the Dark World.
Yeah, hopefully once they get this Dark World access, things will open up a little bit, though without flippers or a hook shot, or will probably be funneled into the Palace of Darkness first off.
Yeah, which means we're going to see, let's see, the locations that you can access directly off of Aga are going to be the Pyramid Ledge, and I think you can actually make your way to Hype Cave.
Yeah, I think. Well, no, they don't have the they don't have the flippers, and they don't have a hammer. They can't get down.
Oh no! The bridge is blocked off by the hammer. But if they had the flippers, they could jump into the river and do a little bit of fancy maneuvering that way. So Legend as we're hearing from Fear Agent, the Legend Palace of Darkness are gonna have something.
Yep. But it's nice to have that bow going into the Palace of Darkness. I mean, they can't get through the whole thing because they don't have the hammer yet, but they can get pretty much every item except for the one on the Helmasaur King.
Yep, because you need the hammer to break the mask.
Well, you can do it with bombs, but there's a couple of places you have to hammer those little angry faces.
Terrapins. No, yeah, the little whatchamacallits.
Little pinheads. I don't know. That's what I call them.
There's so many names in this game that the game never tells you.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it tells you hardly anything. Ganon. You know his name.
Yeah. The game doesn't even tell you the name of the bosses either.
All four of our runners now in the long, slow trudge up the tower. Nice kill of those first two golden guards by Lyra.
Yep, with Sin here, our first runner into Aghanim's chamber.
Wow, it's cool to see three runners in the exact same room at the exact same time. The fourth one not far behind.
Yep. Aghanim can either fire a shot that you could reflect or a shot that you cannot, which the community has come to call blue balls. The first shot Aghanim runs on a five action sequence. The first action will always be a shot you can reflect. The last action will always be a lightning shot from the top of the screen. The three in the middle have a 50-50 chance of being reflectable or not reflectable. Each runner will get the same sequence, so we're not going to see any divergence come about as a result of RNG here.
Yeah, it's not too bad so far. Not too many blue balls.
Yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a nice, quick fight.
I think the main reason this fight is hated is just there's nothing you can do to speed it up at all. There's no extra balls you can deflect like with Aghanim 2. You just got to wait it out, really.
Yep. Okay, so we got blue crystals at Skullwoods, Ice Palace, and Swamp Palace. Red crystal, Misery Mire. Pendants at Eastern Palace, Thieves Town, and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that Turtle Rock pendant's interesting. Green pendant at Thieves Town's a little bit annoying, but they might probably still hit that anyway once they get access because there's some easily accessible chests.
Yep, but they'll need the they'll need to either have the Cane of Samaria or be channeling Andy to get to it.
Mm.
And our green pendant is Thieves Town today, meaning that there's an extra item there if they choose to clear it. From Saha. Marty and Cindy basically pixel for pixel going into the pod area and gonna pick up that cheeky monkey.
And it's a good thing they had some good rupee drops early on. They don't have to worry about this 100 rupees that 110 altogether for the escort and then the opening service.
It's basically a quick check. You're gonna get most of your dungeon items up front, and then all of your fun items are gonna be in the back here. It's a really interesting dungeon layout.
Yeah, there's so many different kind of options for chests you could go to and choose. A lot of those front chests have to be keys just for logic reasons. So, yeah, we don't get to see the real fun stuff until we kind of move into the back part.
Yeah, like I was saying, the randomizer is built to assume that the runner does very stupid things with their keys. If it doesn't, there's every possibility that you can soft block, by which, in this case, it means that you don't have the keys required to proceed through the rest of the dungeon, which basically means you have to hard reset in order to proceed.
Heading into the section of the front part here that is locked by the bow.
There is a way to avoid this particular bow lock if our runners had a potion. It's an interesting feature of the game that if you drink a potion while you're heading to the left on particular map tiles called a super tile, you'll actually unlock the camera, which means that the runners will be able to see the room to the right of that mimic room. And the door trigger there is if all the enemies are dead, the door opens. But the game doesn't know, obviously, about the glitch, so it assumes that if the enemies are off screen, they're dead. So if you scroll the screen to the right and then manipulate the mimics off to the left, the door will open even though the mimics are still alive.
Wow, I had not heard that. Is that considered a major glitch or a minor glitch?
It's considered a minor glitch. There are certain aspects of potion usage that are considered major, but this particular implementation is minor.
Cindy taking a death warp there without the mirror. This dungeon is a little bit awkward, so sometimes
very unfriendly.
Yeah, people will just die so they can get spawned at the beginning and then start at these first 3 chests again, see if they can get some keys, progress in. Now, because our runners all found that powder, anytime you see those anti-fairies, the little sparkly kind of skull and crossbones shaped enemies, they can actually use the powder on them to turn them into fairies. They're called anti-fairies.
Yep. There's also the yellow star-like constructions, which are called bubbles. that is, it will turn Link into Bunny Link even if he has the Moon Pearl until he takes damage or it wears off.
Yeah, speaking of Bunny Link, most of all of our runners are using different sprites. I don't think they're all, none of them are using the default sprite, and sometimes the bunny sprites are really funny.
Yeah, like I know for a fact that Drizzy's sprite, which is Tara Branford's Esper from Final Fantasy VI, the bunny sprite here is actually Silas from the same game.
That's great. Got the little rupee pickup here on the way to these chests. Driz just picking up a map. Maybe something more interesting. Nope. Still collecting keys. Lots of keys. I don't think there's any more left to find.
Nope. Which means our runners are going to go over to the big chest area. Maybe in a little bit, because something is going to be over there. I almost guarantee it.
I think we're just about to see things get interesting here. I can feel it in my bones.
I actually misspoke. The Esper Terra, her bunny form is regular Terra. There's another sprite, Mog, from the same game. He's the one with the Celeste sprite.
I see. Oh, that's right, because isn't that sort of an in-joke when it comes to the Final Fantasy VI speed run?
Yes, because it's actually Mog and Celeste share the same slot in the game's data. And while we're talking about that, Drizzy finds the hammer.
It's hammer
Good
time.
place to find it.
So that opens up the hype cave. Not a whole lot else right now, but it does let them complete this dungeon.
Drizzy confused for a second, not sure what to do at the moment.
Maybe trying to
looked
take
like he was thinking about saving and quitting.
Yeah, he probably just realized he could finish this dungeon, so maybe we'll either die or we'll walk through.
So Cindy needs to get the hammer, and I think the play would be, I think the play here is after you find the hammer to dip out. I'm not sure if there's going to be anything required on Helma at this point. There could be.
Nobody has the cane of Samaria, so we have to push statues around. It's nice to have that because you can just put that block down on that button. Saves you a little bit of time. This is a good cutscene in which to take a little break, take a sip of water, make sure you're hydrated.
Yep. Always important to stay hydrated, especially in a run like this, which can easily go upwards of an hour and a half.
We're seeing Marty head out here. Heading down a hype cave, I think.
That'd be my play, yep.
Unless I'm mistaken, he hasn't completed that dungeon, though, which is interesting. Hype cave having a little bit of hype as we watch Sinhi fighting the Helmasaur King. There was a mirror, as well as an ice rod, which is a little bit scary because that means Turtle Rock might be coming into play.
Two very important items to find. The mirror just makes navigation much easier because otherwise, if you need to get from the Dark World back to the Light World, you would have to save and quit, which just wastes an inordinate amount of time. Nothing in the cave south of the Haunted Grove.
Yep. Now we'll see if our friend Stumpy, as some people call him, has anything.
300 rupees on Helmosaur King. Not entirely necessary, but not entirely something you sneeze at either. If you need to buy potions, those rupees come in handy.
Yeah, we haven't found a bottle yet, though, so hopefully somebody will stumble across one. It's nice to have that, especially when you're getting into the late game going up into Ganon's Tower. Get to dig the ground a maximum of 30 times here in the digging game for Marty.
Yep, and we'll see what he gets out of it. Taking him a lot of digs.
Yeah.
All for a red rupee.
Isn't that always the way?
Yep. Without any sort of glove upgrade, that rock there is a hard blocker. You can't move past it to get into Village of Outcasts from the south. So he had to mirror and go up this way.
I think Marty might be going to check to see if the cave with the bat has anything in it. There's really not a lot more open right now, so there's a good chance there's something in here.
Yeah, this seed doesn't really admit to a lot of progress at the moment. There's not really many dungeons that you can actually successfully go into. You can't get to Tower of Hera without the flute or the glove. Desert Palace requires the book or some trickery with the mitts and the mirror and the flute. Oh, and there are the gloves. Yep.
Of course. There we go. Now we can get to quite a few different places. We can get up to
There's
Tower
progress.
of Hera.
Yep. If I were Marty, I would beeline for Tower of Hera at the moment, because that's really the best place to go.
And we do have access to Skull Woods as well.
Yeah, I was about to say Skull Woods might also be a play.
Currently in the logic, I don't think it's quite as much of a gold mine as it was a few versions ago, but I still generally have some pretty good luck checking out Skull Woods.
Looks like Marty is going to make the Hera play.
We'll get to see what the old man has, and see if there's anything interesting on the ledge.
And inside Spectacle Rock as well.
Mm-hmm. And then we can also get, because we have the hammer across that bridge, and see if there's anything in the light side, the other mini Moldorm cave in the light world.
Yep, Paradox Cave, upper and lower. Between them you have 7 chests.
I try not to think about Paradox Cave, it makes my brain hurt. Alright, making our approach up Death Mountain here. More, what are these Tektites? These little folks jumping around?
Yes, they are Tektites.
Don't usually see those unless you've defeated Aghanim. A lot of little overworld changes happen when you have to kill him to progress.
Yep, and we saw the 10 bomb drop inside Spectacle Rock, which is actually the drop that the uncle will give you if you have a bomb start.
Mm-hmm. I think we have Sinhi maybe doing a play on the not the City of Outcasts, Town of Outcasts?
Village of Outcasts. Probably Thieves Town as well.
Outcasts live there. No, he's heading up to Skull Woods. That's nice.
Got
Meanwhile,
fighter shield in the basement of Hera.
he ignores it.
Runners are hoping. Yeah, our runners are hoping to see the big key in this chest. Otherwise, they will have to go to the basement, and it looks like the basement's the play.
Our favorite room. Well, our second, our favorite of the 2 tile rooms, if we're forced to choose. At least in this one, if you're clever, you can get some iframes standing on one of those blue, those
Like
blue
blocks
blocks.
thing.
Unfortunately,
But-
Marty just missing it, but that's okay.
Yep. One of the weird quirks of this game is if you're standing on the peg block when it's down, as you're hitting the switch, the game will give you invulnerability frames until you step off.
Now, Cindy had a really good find in Skull Woods. He found the other glove.
Ooh, that is a good find.
Mm-hmm. And now doing a good job of getting past those Gibdos. Those guys are really annoying.
They're super annoying. But with the fire rod, they're trivial to deal with.
Yeah. Now, we haven't found half magic yet, so as we go through Skull Woods here, we're probably going to see maybe a little bit of conservative use of the fire rod until we get to our moth friend.
Yes. Moth fight is always interesting to see how it goes. Because the moth fight is a really interesting application, or a really interesting look into how the game works, because the moth fight has spikes ringing the edge, and if you hit moth into the spike, it will overwrite whatever damage you tried to deal to him to 0, and he won't take any.
Yeah, it's really tough to get a hang of the first time for sure.
It is not the greatest.
I think I also heard that the butter sword for some reason was not actually programmed correctly to have the correct damage. Like it was actually, if you use it, it's fighter sword damage. I think they've changed it in the randomizer though.
Actually, no. It will just do no damage.
Oh wow!
In the vanilla game, because the butter sword is tier 4 damage. Montiel is not programmed to take tier 4 damage from anything, or rather, the butter sword damage class is the same as the spike damage class, which means that it will suffer the same damage overwrite it will suffer the same damage 0 that the spikes do.
Mm-hmm.
The game is just a mess if you look too deeply into it.
And we have a worm and a moth dying at approximately the same time. Good job by both Marty and Sinhi.
Yes, indeed. And Marty moving on to East Death Mountain.
So that play to Skull Woods might give Sinhi an advantage if going up to Death Mountain now with Mirror and the second level glove, you can get access to the dark side as well.
Yep, and we saw
side.
Butter Sword on the floating island.
Wonder if anyone's going to pick that up. Well, I don't know if it's worth it
Probably not.
time-wise.
No, the difference between Butter Sword and Temperate Sword is not significant enough to warrant it. Not even Ganon makes it a significant enough play. And it's a not insignificant expenditure of time to go get it.
Yeah, we don't have silver arrows yet. It could make a difference if you had to do a silverless Ganon. Well, could it? I don't know.
I'm actually not entirely sure.
Ooh, boy. Drizzt almost getting picked up by the hand there, narrowly escaping that really annoying fate.
Yes, the game in another example of how well programmed this game is, as you are falling through a hole, the game still considers you to be where you are. So the Wallmaster is still fully capable of grabbing you even as you're falling.
I think Wallmaster is one of my top 3 most hated enemies in this game.
With good reason, too.
Sitting here getting a blue potion in the big chest of Skull Woods.
I'll never turn down a blue potion.
Nope.
And it's going to be interesting to see if maybe he routes in a Sitka check, or he's probably going to save that for if he finds the flute, which we are going to need in the seed.
That's right, because we need to do Misery Mire, and we need the flute to get there. Marty got the Cane of Samaria in the back of Paradox Cave, the part with the Milling Mold Worms there. It was the only real item of interest, but what a nice item to get. That means Turtle Rock is getting pretty close to being available to him once he gets that glove.
Yep. And it also means that Mr. Meyer is logically completable, I believe.
Yep, as soon as we can. Well, we need the hook shot or the boots to get into it. Other than
oh, that's right.
And of course
the Blanc blocks. Yep.
Unfortunately, I did not see what the sick kid had. I don't think it was much.
Neither did I, unfortunately. Bomb upgrade, I'm being told by our tracker.
One bomb upgrade is nice, but we really don't need more than one to be pretty comfortable.
Not really. Sinhi with that mirror is going to be able to take Jeremiah, the blacksmith, straight back to his home.
Yeah, we're going to get to see a couple of things here. We'll see all of these pegs hammered down. If they had the boots, they can do an item dash that allows them to kind of blast through these in a really satisfying way. But they don't, so they get to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yep, it's always kind of painful to watch watch it be done the normal way after I've seen so many people do item dash.
Yeah, item dashing's fun. It's not incredibly useful for many items. It's definitely useful there. And just fun to do otherwise, like with the shovel.
Yes, indeed. It does have a bit of application in Turtle Rock, actually. You can short circuit a bit of the final sort of peg maze game before you hit Turtle Rock or Trinex.
That's right.
I was wondering if he was going to do this. He's taking the purple chest, which is a little bit of a long haul without having the flute. But it looks like he's going to take it over to our friend in the desert to open it up.
It's taking it to meet its other friend chests in the chest game here. We're seeing a check of the cave behind the graveyard here from Drizzt.
Yeah, it looks like it's just got a piece of heart. He'll take it though. He's not going to be able to check King's Tomb here because you need the boots in order to do it.
Yeah, he could head over and see if the catfish has anything. That would be a potential option. But
the catfish is another of those orphan items that you don't see. It's really hard to route it into anywhere, but it can sometimes have an important item.
Yeah, not much in there in the chest. Looks like he's heading up maybe to check Agana's cave. Gonna be a bit disappointed.
And Marty taking down the moth and earning his third crystal.
And a compass for his trouble.
That Moldorm was kind of stuck. He couldn't figure out what to do.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like that the AI for that boss is like a little too smart, and sometimes I feel like it just gets a bit overwhelmed. Usually it's me getting overwhelmed. We have Sinhi heading up Death Mountain.
Yeah. Severia making their Aghanim check, not going to be too thrilled. We did see another shield on the bumper ledge, and the reason we saw it as a fighter shield, when we saw the fighter shield in the Hera basement, is that swords, shields, and armors and gloves in this game are progressive, meaning that the first time you find it, it will always be the first one you don't have, and then once you pick it up, everything in the game will change to the next version.
Yeah, it's always a little bit of a trip when you go to pick up an item after having gotten its like the first version of it again, and then you remember it as that first version and it's changed on you. It's always kind of interesting.
Yep. Marty having a little bit of trouble with the bomb jump. I don't think he's close enough. You have to be within 2 pixels of the edge of the ledge if you don't have the Pegasus boots.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough to set up. He got it there eventually. Got his blue bottle as his reward. Definitely worth it. Now our runner's kind of tracing over each other's footsteps.
Yep, with Sydney going back to make the Hera play.
Also ignoring that shield.
Well, our runners at this caliber probably don't need it very much. And Marty being our first runner to check these down. It is a pendant, so it's going to be interesting to see whether he makes his first 4 checks and then leaves, or just because it's a green pendant, decides to go ahead and complete it anyway.
Yeah, we give him access to checking all the items that are available, including we have access to the big key chest item because we have the hammer. So it wouldn't be a bad option. You never know if maybe deep in here the hookshot is buried, for instance.
Yeah. I commented a race about a week ago where the first sword was at the bottom of the well, but the second 2 swords were both in Thieves Town, in the bottom, one of the big chest and one of the maiden cell.
Wow.
It was nightmarish.
Now, was Thieves Town a crystal or a pendant?
Pendant, of course, naturally.
Of course.
Why would it be otherwise?
Marty's checking out.
We'll see if this ends up being the correct play. Lyra getting the crystal glitch that I was talking about with the invulnerability frames, but it looks like Lyra's a little bit too far south on the peg, so it looks like she might have to exit the pegs down and then hit the switch again.
At least if that happens, it's not a soft lock. that would be the worst.
Yeah, it would not be fun. Oh, I lied. No, she was able to go up.
Nice. It's nice too because it sets up this room. You don't have to hit that switch. Everything's ready for you to just move right on.
Yep. Oh, I missed that the first time out. The big chest in Hera had a fairy in a bottle, which is a nice, important safety.
Yeah, I missed that too. That they've got 2 really nice bottles, a blue potion and a fairy. Like, if you had to pick 2, those are the ones probably that you'd pick, unless you could get 2 blue bottles, maybe.
Yep.
Though the fairy can be a little bit of a pain sometimes if you're trying to do a death warp. Luckily, since these runners have a mirror, they won't need to do too many of those.
Yeah, if you pick up a fairy early on in the seed and then forget you have it, trying to set up a death warp can be very, very frustrating.
Yeah, the only thing more frustrating is when you pick up a piece of a heart that refills your entire life bar just before you want to do a death warp.
That's always fun. I've seen that happen more than once.
You could also potentially, there's one of the full hearts, the sanctuary heart, that would refill your entire hearts as well. But all the other full hearts would just give you one more, which is a little annoying, but you could work through that.
Yep. So let's take a look and see what our pedestal index could be. It looks like Quake could always be on pedestal. Could find the hookshot on pedestal, perhaps. Or actually, I think the favorite at the moment, my personal favorite, would be Boots on pedestal.
That would be pretty fun. Interesting. We have two of the sort of your key items, your flippers and your boots, both foot-related items that we do not have yet.
Yep, both of which are almost always universally required. Board Eric in chat correctly pointing out that flute could also potentially be our pedestal item.
That would be pretty special. Now we haven't been able to check the pedestal. We don't have a book. So we also can't see what's on the those tablets. What are they? The Ether and the Bombos tablets or Quake?
Either in Bombos. The
Right.
Quake tablet is actually the catfish.
That's right. I play vanilla so infrequently I forget kind of which ones are where.
Yeah, Severia taking a fall to Mordor. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the middle hole, because that hole in the center puts you in position where you will drop 2 floors, which is always fun, in quotation marks.
Yeah, fun. Lyra getting it done. A few extra swipes.
Yep.
Now we're gonna...
Drea's T about to join the Hera Club.
Yeah, while Sydney checks out the dark east side of Death Mountain, which is going to be interesting. We'll see what's in the Super Bunny Cave here.
The Super Bunny Cave is so called because in bunny form, if you fall down a hole as a bunny, the game will give you back the ability to open chests. Why? We don't know.
Yeah, you can also use your boots if you have them, which is really funny sometimes, depending on the sprite.
Yep. And we're also seeing an application of the mirror glitch. What happens is when you push an object, it temporarily despawns and becomes a sprite. And if you use the mirror in an overworld cave, the mirror will actually cause a sprite to despawn. I specify overworld cave because you don't want to try this in a dungeon because it will not. It'll work, but it'll also take you back to the start of the dungeon.
Yes, I think everybody has done that at least once, really deep into a dungeon like Ice Palace or something, and it's not a good time. Sinhi opening up Turtle Rock. Driz trying to and getting trolled a little bit by the what are these called again? The dead rocks?
The enemies on Death Mountain that turn into statues, yeah, they're dead rocks.
Yeah, I hate them. They're one of the top 3, as I said.
Yep.
Most hated enemies.
Dead rocks, Wall Masters. What's the third?
The third are those wiggly dudes in the Ice Palace that you have to kill with a fire rod or bombos.
The Freeze Horse.
Yes, I hate them. So we had a big key in that first chest in Turtle Rock. Sinhi taking the long way around here to light these torches on fire. If you have the hook shot, you can do an alternate route that is a little bit quicker and then kind of hook your way off of that platform.
Yeah, that's the nice and quick method for the fire room here. And the flipper is buried in Turtle Rock. Oh, man. Required dip into Turtle Rock here.
Still gonna venture a little bit further in. There's definitely quite a few chests to check in Turtle Rock, and while you're up here, you might as well get as much done as you can.
Yeah, because going back up here, you don't want to go back up here if you can avoid it.
Especially having gotten the fire rod, I mean, not the fire rod, the ice rod, which is required to kill Trinex. That could be a sign that Trinex has something. Not necessarily, but it could be.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, that's the only thing you definitely need the ice rod for in the game. There's literally nothing else that you could that requires the use of the ice rod.
Literally nothing else, which means that because the ice rod only is required for one thing in the game, the randomizer fill algorithm can put it literally anywhere it wants. So the ice rod is usually the troll item that takes a million years to find.
Marty killing blind here, finishing up, getting his green pendant, which he may turn in to see if Sahasrahla has anything fun for him.
Yep, that would be my play.
Wonder if he has the boots.
It looks like Lyra opted to go get that butter sword.
Hey, butter sword's a butter sword.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if that actually ends up playing out well for her.
Yeah, we still haven't seen silver arrows, so could be useful overall.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to find out where those are at.
Sinhi probably going to check the Mimic Cave over here.
Yep, that's the play. Mimic Cave. Not a terrible play, actually.
Yeah, it's so awkward to get back up here. If it was something, you'd hate to have not checked it.
Yep. I mean, I wouldn't turn down half magic.
I mean, it's not what you want. You want your progression, but yeah, that's a pretty good consolation prize.
Yeah. Especially if and there are the boots in the big chest in Turtle Rock, so this is a good play.
When they got that big key first off, I thought to myself, I wonder if that means there's something good in that big chest. Apparently I was right.
And Board Eric entirely correct. If we don't find the silvers, that half magic is going to be really useful for the torches in Ganon Phase 4.
Sinhi getting the hook shot right after getting the boots in Turtle Rock.
Oh,
boy, this is a good play.
That is an important Turtle Rock, huh?
Yeah. Wow. All this is a pendant Turtle Rock, right? I'm not misremembering.
No, you're not seeing things here. Oh,
now all
man.
we need is something real good on the mirror bridge, the laser bridge here, and then that's just the ultimate troll.
Or on Trinex. Silver's on Trinex? Anyone?
Okay, yeah. Trinex is the ultimate troll for sure. Ooh, gambling with the lasers.
And the gamble ended up not paying out.
Hey.
But Cindy did have that fairy, so.
That's true. They remembered. I forgot. All for a compass. Doing a really nice job on these laser skips.
Yeah. Ooh, good laser skips. Not good items at the end.
Yeah. Now they did a real quick check there. I'm
And
not sure.
did not open the safety door, which may or may not be an issue.
Now Trinex
Probably not,
does
though.
have an item. They have the map and the compass, so
Yep. So, pray for something trolly. Catfish just having a heart container, so nothing too crazy there.
Cindy getting amped up, ready to go in.
This is going to be an easy fight with half magic. A runner as skilled as Cindy is going to have no problem.
Yeah, really nice strats going behind Trinex
Yeah.
for those.
Unfortunately, not avoiding the ice on the floor. That's going to be a little bit of a problem, but shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, once you get past that first part, this is usually a pretty easy cleanup, especially with the tempered sword.
Oh, certainly, yeah. As we see, Cindy just destroys Trinex.
Beautiful. Two of our other runners pretty much right in lockstep with one another too here, Drizzt and Lyra.
Yep. Room for room. But unfortunately, Trinex only having 300 rupees to his name.
Darn. Well, you went that far. You tried that hard. Might as well get your rupees.
Yeah.
And we don't know yet. Could be pedestal still.
Could be pedestal seed, and that's going to be really interesting to see if it ends up being that. Could
like
still
Marty.
be flute, quick medallion if we need it.
Marty heading up there as well, probably to do some similar stuff.
I think Marty is forgetting that to do the spin speed on the stairs, you do still need the boots.
Yeah, that is true. I was hoping there'd be something fun in Hookshot Cave. I don't think there was anything in there.
No, I didn't see it either. But I'm not seeing anything important.
Yeah, a lot of pieces of hearts.
Chat is correct. We could have a paradox seed where the book is on the pedestal, which is just something important on one of the tablets or inside desert.
That is true. That would be kind of fun. Nothing paying out in the King's Tomb, so Sinhi heading back. Which direction? Heading up. Heading up to Death Mountain again? Nope, checking his bonk rock.
Rocks, and then, man, at this point, what is your play?
I don't know. With flippers and hookshot and hammer, we could do swamp.
Could do swamp because we have the mirror. Ice Palace is also possibly the play. You have everything you need. And with tempered cold scare isn't that much of a problem.
Yep, I think those are going to be our two options. We'll see if they choose to do swamp first. Swamp does have quite a few items. Takes a little bit of time to get all the way to the left side to get those two items just hanging way out in the back. Sometimes people will opt to do the whole dungeon first and then go back for them if they think there's something good there.
Yep. Drifty taking the bomb safety door. It's always a good idea if you're not entirely confident with the Ganon fight. We got the King of Brian on the Lake Hylia Island. We're probably not going to see our runners go for it.
Probably not. That is our first invincibility item that we've seen. We haven't seen the cape, which is probably the superior of the two because it allows you to do charge up your spin slash.
Yes. And also, there's an interesting property with the cape. If you have the cape equipped and you grab onto the wall, your magic meter will not deplete.
Nice. I don't think I'd heard that. I'd heard that it definitely depletes a lot slower if you're swinging your sword, so that can enable you to to get through some sticky swinging away. But I hadn't heard about holding on to the wall to save your
Yep.
magic. I'm already going back into the Palace of Darkness now to finish that out.
Yeah. Probably setting up for a pet check. At this point, it looks like pedestal is absolutely required to seed.
Unless we find something in... Well, we could find something in Ice Palace or Swamp, potentially.
Potentially, yeah, but that would be the dream, the Aghanim pedestal seed.
It would. Driz finishing up with Trinex here. Lyra not far behind, heading in. Sinhi getting that bomb jump in Ice Palace. Very nice.
Yeah, that's a really tricky bomb jump. It's a lot trickier than it appears, because you have to be aligned both vertically and horizontally in order to get the required distance.
Yeah, it can be tough because it's hard to move just 1 or 2 pixels in any given direction. You have to set yourself up with a really precise jump like that. You're getting ready to collect your payment of 300 rupees.
Yep. Of course, Silveria's also already got more money than God, so...
Looks like Driz just heading down to Swamp. Almost forgot to make it into the Dark World first. Getting to see a little bit of hammer dashing there for fun. Get through that that little barrier.
Yep. You can do the item dash with any item. All you have to do is hit the item button and the dash button on the same frame.
I find it helps to switch to a claw grip for it. I'm not sure if most people do that.
Yeah, different grip styles can actually have significant impact on the on how you can input certain combinations. Looks like I did see that hookshot cave, and it looks like this one was junk. So.
Mm-hmm. Didn't seem like there was a lot in the back of Ice Palace either.
Nope, not at all. Looks like we're going to see Cindy check the big chest, though. It's got the hookshot out. The same way that the mirror glitch works to erase the block, you can send the hookshot through a moving sprite. So if you if you start a block moving and then a hookshot through it, you can jump through the block.
Yeah, it always feels good to do that. Feels like you're making progress.
Chat's informing I didn't notice it on the tracker that Cindy did actually pull the book out. So that's one fewer item that could be a troll. And Cindy actually making a very good play. The fire rod has an interesting property. Oh, and that was a beautiful closer kill.
Yeah.
The fire rod has a property where if you hit the fire rod and send a sword beam out at the same time, the sword beam will actually take on the damage value of the fire rod and the damage property, which means it can be used to destroy cultures out of shell.
Wow, that's great.
It's a very interesting play. Just one more example of how completely solidly this game was programmed.
All joking aside, this game, I mean, obviously it's a great game, but you know, after just poking and prodding and playing with it for goodness 20 odd years, you know, we found all of its little tiny weak points. You'd never notice if you were playing it casually, but there's lots of stuff that speedrunners and randomizer runners can exploit, which is nice.
Yes. Shout outs to people like Sipscooge, who has basically broken this game inside and out like half a dozen times over. He's really the reason that a lot of these tricks have been found.
And speaking of shout outs to considering the amount of people who went into making this randomizer happen, there's so many people working on coding, people working on logic, people working on these really cool sprites. So when the runs eventually wrap up, definitely check those credits out after the main programmers for the original game, because there's some really cool folks in there who have done a lot of work to make this possible.
Including Christos Owen, the second place finisher in the Sprint Randomizer tournament.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
And I think we saw on Marty's screen exactly what people were talking about, the instant kill if you're in the fake flipper state.
Uh-huh. That's right, Marty has not quite gotten all the goodies that are hiding for him inside of Turtle Rock. But it looks like Sinhi found our flute.
Oh, that's a nice, that's a good pull from the Bombos tablet, too.
Yeah, so Ice Palace did have some stuff for us after all. It had a fetch quest, a good fetch quest.
Yes. And as Trickman in chat says, for all the fun that we're poking at the game programming, it's actually sort of ingenious because the programmers had a very, very limited workspace. So they had to reuse data values and make the game work in the limited space they had access to. Programming was a lot more of an art form back in the early mid-90s than it is now.
And at 1 hour and 17 minutes in, we have our first rescuing this strange bird. What is it, a pelican? People call it a duck. I'm not sure what species of bird it's supposed to be, but apparently it was trapped in that fountain and we got him out. Yes,
indeed. And now we can make the plays over to the Maya area. And actually, it's going to be interesting to see if Sinhi actually successfully set up a new glitch that was recently found that's going to let him move through Maya a little bit quicker. And I'll attempt to explain it more if we actually see it in action.
And it is a Bombos tablet, or Bombos medallion rather, required.
That Sinhi is now in go mode. Sinhi has everything required to complete the rest of the game.
Yeah, and he looks like he knows it. He's not even checking the shed to see if there's anything there. The checkerboard cave that's open to him.
Yep.
The only item that it would be awful nice to find would be silver arrows, but we're probably not going to see them go any way out of their way for silvers.
Nope, a runner of Sinhi's caliber, he knows how to do it without. And actually, on Drizzy's side, we're seeing an interesting effect of having the Pegasus boots. If you have the Pegasus boots and you dash along the edge of a hole, you can actually arm a water walking state, and all you have to do is jump south off of the ledge, and then you will be walking on water.
Sinhi finding a cape, not maybe something he was looking for.
Nope.
Wow, and that nice early big key for Sinhi going into Misery Mire. Exactly what he's looking for in Go mode.
Yes, so Sinhi is going to be able to just blow through Misery Mire. I think that's actually what they refer to as the God Mire.
It makes you wonder, are silver arrows somewhere else in Misery Mire? Is that the troll?
Oh, they could be, and we'll hear about it from Gannon.
Yeah, that is awful nice of him to tell us, in which area his silver arrows are hidden. If you were playing this casually, if you were not racing, and that you're just playing this through the first time, that could be really useful information, actually.
Yeah, and it would actually be worth it to go to Ganon, see the message, and then dip back out in order to go get them. If you're not familiar with the Silverless strat.
Yeah, Silverless, it's not easy. It's not too bad, but you do definitely need to look it up because you wouldn't be able to intuit how to do it without kind of learning the particulars of, exactly what type of attack you have to do at what time for it to actually count.
Yeah, it's really precise.
Isn't he heading in here to fight a bunch of eyeballs? This would be one place where it's kind of nice to have that cape. You could do some dash strats here because we have the boots as well.
Yep, but Cindy doesn't need it. Cindy's just tearing through the eyeballs.
Taking care of business.
And getting a useless key for his trouble. From Meyer, the play is going to be to Desert Palace. He's going to mirror and go straight into desert from here.
Yep, that's a nice, quick play. Meanwhile, Marty making his way through Turtle Rock, going to pick up some nice items, using his powder to turn some of those anti-fairies into fairies, which is just making his passage through a little bit easier.
Yep. Diving straight into the left side of the Desert Palace. And this is going to be a very, very quick check. You don't need anything. All you need to do is find the big key and go straight to the back.
Yep, if it's on the torch here, which it is not, just a shovel.
Imagine if the silver arrows are buried in the Haunted Grove.
They very well could be.
Though it does look like this actually, we were hoping for a pet seed, we didn't end up getting it.
Yeah, they could be on the pedestal, silvers.
They could be. I've actually never seen that. I'm interested to see what the language would be.
I think I had it once, but it was early enough in my randomizer running that I just went ahead and got them because I didn't know how to do silverless yet, and I don't think I appreciated how rare that situation is.
It's definitely not something you see a lot.
Marty's going to be happy picking up his hook shot here. So I'm hesitate for a second. Maybe he was wondering whether he should continue.
Yep. He might still be thinking about pedestal, maybe.
Yeah, pedestal and Trinex having that ice rod. That's the fool's errand there. The red herring.
Yep.
Nice long cutscene for Sinhi.
And then a comparatively short Lanmolas fight. I don't see Sinhi having any trouble here.
Yeah, half magic and the rods, the ice rod and the fire rod, are both really nice for doing solid amounts of damage to those flying, wiggly caterpillar worms. Marty down to 1 heart here doing these laser skips. Gets it done. So we're gonna see a nice short swamp palace from Sinhi here.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be ridiculous. You don't have to check left side. You don't have to check big chest. You can just go.
Yeah, we can use the key that was intended for us to be able to get into left side to just go straight up and head toward the boss. There is no boss door. It's just a nice open area for us to go in.
Drews, you find the last medallion in what's called the iced tea room. You won't end up needing it, but it's neat to know where it is.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you wind up collecting all three in a run. It's possible all three could be required depending on the seed. If you needed Ether to get into either Turtle Rock or Misery Mire, Bombos to get into, or Quake to get into the other, and then Bombos to get into Ice Palace, say. That would be pretty rare.
Which is always possible. The you can use either Bombos or Fire Rod to both kill the Freezors and destroy Colsear's outer shell.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to do that. It uses so much less magic than the Fire Rod shots do.
Yep. Silveria over in the lower right making her final overworld checks, but she basically has everything she needs as well. So she just needs to go Mire to Desert Palace, and she's going to be ready to make the final ascent.
Now, Sinhi moving this statue over, I had a brief moment at one point thinking that you might be able to use a
Samaria block?
The Samaria block, but it despawns as soon as you get it off screen, so can't do that.
Oh, that's right. Silveria does not currently have the fleet, but in the Mire area, she's going to find it right before she needs it.
Yeah, hopefully we're just going to follow that book on the trail of breadcrumbs, checking stuff that you can check with that book.
Yep. As Sinhi makes his way into Argus, let's see if we can get the God Argus, basically. And it looks like he's set up really well for it. Nope, just a little delayed.
Probably going to get a good 2 cycle here. Nice. Using those fire rod shots to finish it off.
Nice and easy.
Meanwhile, Drizzt wrapping up Ice Palace as well.
And with that, while we don't have an official game to play, we do have a guessing game. Now that Sinhi is going to make his way up to Gannis Tower, there are 22 possible locations of the big key for Gannis Tower, 1 through 22. Where do you like to see it, Kassa?
Oh boy. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna say 7.
7's pretty nice. I'm gonna be really nice and say let's see it on the torch. I've seen that happen before.
Yeah, that would be nice. Then they can just pop into the next room, grab a key, and head right up.
Yep.
You do want to make sure you have at least 1 key going up because you're not guaranteed to have all of the keys you need. As long as you got 1, you can get them out of a couple of enemies and such like on your way up.
Yep. And the rune directly to the left of the torch has a key under a skull pot thing, so you're guaranteed to have that one at least.
Now, Drizzt is going to check the other tablet, see if anything interesting is in here. Maybe silver arrows, who knows? Nope.
It's just a heart.
Just some love. But hopefully gonna continue thinking along the same lines.
Yep, and go for the bombos check. Maybe. Severely making what's going to end up being the right call and bailing on Turtle Thieves Town. Jeremiah check makes sense. You're right there. Dristy checking Spike Cave, which is going to be interesting. Known vulnerability items.
Yep.
He's probably counting on a potion to have.
Might have
Yes,
a
he
fairy.
does.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, right in time too.
Man. Not a good reward for your troubles.
No, not at all.
Sinny heading right.
And making the play right side.
I kind of like a right side play. I mean, I think a lot of people do it. If you get a key in one of those first two chests, then it just kind of feels right.
Yep.
Now, if somebody was really behind, they might want to do that tile room that they just dashed through next, just to see if if the gamble pays off, because most people don't check it till last. But
yep.
I think Cindy's probably feeling pretty good. We're an hour and 31 minutes in, but no other people having finished the race yet. Cindy's got a good opportunity here.
Yep. Nothing in the first 5 though. So we're gonna see where we go from here. Dipping out, going left side.
You know, it could be on the torch, just like you were thinking.
Yep. Oh, it's a key, but it's not the right key, unfortunately. Rip Bob, by the way.
Yep, no Bob in this run. But Bob is a graphical glitch that occurs if you don't take the item off of that torch. It creates kind of an interesting looking, sparkly, discolored anti-fairy in a room a little bit later on. We may or may not see.
Yep. We're probably going to see, we might see him, Cindy go through Ice Armor's room, but yeah, I don't quite understand why it happens that way, but if you don't take that item like you were saying, it causes a weird glitchy effect. And actually, if you powder Bob, his glitch sprite state shifts to another anti-fairy in the room.
That's right. Yeah, somebody else becomes Bob Jr. Nice boomerang strats getting through the left side of Ganon's tower here. Oh, just missing that one. This is a tough one.
Got it on the backswing.
Nice.
Check randomizer room here.
So called because you never would check it in a no major glitches run, or pretty much any run. I think this is the only situation in which you'd ever want to go in this room.
Yep. I've actually never seen this room when I've played Link to the Past.
Man. Could be in that tile room. There's only 4 options left, and that's one of them.
Yep, but we're going to see Cindy avoid the tile room. He will drop frustration bombs. He's not having a good time.
Yeah. I guess 5, including Bob's chest. Rip Bob.
Rip Bob, never forget.
Trying to jump over that warp pad there and accidentally hitting it. That's a common occurrence.
Yep. Waste a couple seconds, but nothing too major.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Oh, looks like Cindy's going to powder a fairy for hearts. And there's the big key right before I saw this.
Inheritance from Bob, our glitchy friend.
Yes.
So now we're headed up into Ganon's Tower proper. Making short work of the mimics.
Those mimics melt pretty quickly. Even without silvers, you can still get them reliably.
Now we're not going to see Sinhe stop here and get any fairies or magic, but that would be an option for any of our runners that was feeling a little bit like they needed some supplies to head up and get into the gauntlet
indeed.
here. Do you know who started calling this the gauntlet by any chance?
No, actually, I don't recall who first started calling it that, but it's quite appropriate.
It sure is. Like, just something about the floors moving and the Beamos trying to zap ya and horse heads shooting at ya and skeletons throwing their bones at ya. It's just annoying. Ice floors. But Sinhe making short work of it. That was great.
And we got Drizzy making the play to the basement of Thieves Town, probably going to complete it. And since he has the other two pendants, we might actually be seeing a pet check.
That would be really cool. Gonna get a chance to see what's in this big chest over here too, while Sinhe works his way through the most satisfying rooms in the game here.
Yeah, that Samaria multi-kill strat is really satisfying to watch.
Yeah, the second one too. Nailed it. I'm already heading down into Ice Palace. Hopefully going to be picking up his book fairly shortly here.
Yep.
Sinhe was using the the lamp strats for that room. I had not actually known that you could do it without the fire rod until fairly recently.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a whole lot of magic left. It's all you really got.
Luckily, there's a full drop here, and those that anti-fairy and that bubble, very useful to fill up your resources. Make sure you're ready to go.
Yeah, it's almost like the designers thought that you might be running low.
Maybe. Making short work of Moldorm 2. Not going to check that last chest. We'll see. Be interested to see if anybody else checks it. See if there's any silver arrows in there. We have our pedestal check coming up here from Drizzt. In fact, it's a pedestal pull blind. Why not?
Oh, yeah. Let's see what it is. And it is the inferior boomerang.
Oh, the red meringue, as some call it.
That was a really, really proficient kill on Aga 2.
Yeah, getting that geometry, getting those hits. All of the three, even though only one of them can take damage, they all shoot the balls that you can direct back at the one that can take damage. And so if you can line it up well, you can get multiple hits per round, which is really nice. And the fake ones don't send out blue balls, which is an extra bonus.
Yep. The dream is seeing a double triple, but that's usually pretty hard.
Yeah. Just a blue bottle from Sahasrala, and so we've got all the bottles found.
Yep, but that's not gonna give Drifty any comfort because he's got to go. He's got to go hit that Bombos tablet now.
Mm-hmm. Looks like that might be the next play, which is good.
Yeah, it looks like it might be his play.
Yeah, Sinhi doing some work using the cape a little bit there to just get through those first couple of phases of Ganon quickly, heading into the teleporting third stage.
Yep.
See if he gets the torch glitch once the floors start finished falling out from around them there. And we're gonna get our hint about the silver arrows.
Somewhere in the white overworld. Who knows?
Missing the torch glitch.
And without those silvers, that's going to be a problem.
Yep, I think he has a blue potion yet. I don't think Sinhi's used the blue potion, so
Yep,
that could
he's got it.
Now, the silverless strats, you can only do damage when he's just about to start teleporting after sending out his fire bat. And you have to do the spin slash, correct?
I believe so, yes. I'm not entirely positive, but I think so. And if you hit him too early, he'll just turn blue. And since we don't have silvers, we can't damage him in that state.
Yeah, it just wastes time, essentially.
But you can hear him take damage, so...
It's nice to have that half magic at this point. It makes a big difference when you don't get the torch glitch.
You don't. You only have to do spin if you have the Master Sword.
I see.
I'm being informed.
But it probably is a lot faster to do the spins. They do significantly more damage.
Yes, a spin will actually increase the damage value of your sword by 1 class, unless you have Tempered Sword, because there's no damage class higher.
Right. Yeah, having Tempered in this instance will help you get through the first couple of phases again and faster, but at this point, it's immaterial, essentially.
And Sinhi finishing up, get your GGs into chat.
That was a really, really good game all over for Sinhi. Really good execution. Really fun play. GG.
Sinhi finishing in the 2nd place overall with a time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 9 seconds.
Man, just beaten out by about 8 seconds by BBB Kermit. Not one of our restream runners, but a frequent runner for these races. And he kicking himself a little bit in chat on the SRL from missing the torch glitch. That might have made the difference at the end. But
yeah,
of our restream runners, the winner. So GG.
And let's see if he joins us for an interview here.
While we're waiting for that, watching our other runners finishing up here. Drizzt heading in, getting that nice early big key, heading through Misery Mire. There is Silveria heading into Ganon's Tower. You're Silveria heading left from the looks of it, which is probably going to be good in the long run, since we know where the big key is, hanging out near our friend Bob, the glitchy sprite.
And arrow honing. Arrow honing. That could be... That could refer to silvers? I'm not sure. I think so. I've never seen that.
Arrow honing? Who said that? I didn't catch that.
That was what the game credit said for the witch.
I see. That's interesting. I wonder. Well, that means we didn't find the mushroom either. I wonder where the mushroom is.
Mushroom is right side Gannon Tower.
I see. The double dip silver arrows. Very interesting.
Yeah, so that could have been interesting. I've never seen silvers be on the witch before, but interesting. That's all I've really got to say about it.
Very interesting.
As Severia makes her way up Gannon's Tower. As Drishy makes his incredibly fast Desert Palace play to put him in Gannon's Tower ready state.
The rebound rod. That's a good name for the boomerang.
I like it. Looks like we haven't gotten Cindy for an interview yet. Oh well.
Lyra Silveria getting trolled a little bit, trying to get across that gap. Gonna be very pleased to pick up the big key very shortly here. Looks like we should be getting Cindy in here fairly shortly. Meanwhile, Drist wrapping up Desert Palace, doing a pretty full clear this game. Getting a lot of stuff done. Marty fighting a whole pile of eyeballs using the cape. Gonna have to be a little careful here, just about to run out of magic, but to be able to pull this off. Lots of hearts.
And it looks like we have Cindy in here for an interview. GG, sir.
Yeah, GG, guys.
That was a really interesting seed.
It definitely was, but once again it came down to Turtle Rock, which is pretty common in version 29. And one of the facts, I don't really like version 29 at all. Like, at least 80% of the time Turtle Rock has 2 or 3 progressive items in this version of the randomizer.
Yeah. There was a lot of value in there this time. That wound up being a really good play.
Yeah, for it being a pendant.
I almost expected to see something on Trinex there, but he just paid you for your troubles, apparently.
I was under the same impression, and that's the only reason I actually did Trinex, because I knew he was holding on to one more item. I was kind of hoping it was the flute in the end. But at least that also made me check Hookshot Cave right after Turtle Rock, so that worked out as well.
Yeah, I was ready for it to actually be a pedestal seed. What with the value in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and I was at no point in this seed under the impression it would be a pedestal seed. Hence, I just completely avoided Thieves Down.
Yeah, that wound up being a good play. There wound up being real close between you and BBB Kermit. There was only 8 seconds separating you from first place, which I'm sure probably doesn't feel great.
Well, I mean, the fact that I missed the torch glitch was sort of the thing that cost me the time there, but it's okay. I'll take second as well.
Yeah, second's not a bad place either, especially against somebody as skilled at the game as Kermit is.
That's true.
Just watching your stats go by here, every single boss killed with the tempered sword. It was very interesting.
That early tempered sword was something else, huh?
Oh, well, definitely helped out here and there as well.
Yeah.
And I know where the golden sword were, but by that point I thought to myself, do you really want the golden sword now? It doesn't really do anything at this point in the game anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't like we were saying in chat, or in commentary rather. The difference in damage between the tempered and the golden sword is nowhere near as significant as that between master and tempered.
Exactly. And I think the only two bosses where the damage actually matters is Ganon himself or Trinex.
Yeah, Trinex can be a real pain with with just the master sword.
Oh, definitely. Especially when you have to resort to hammer strats.
It was interesting. All the runners were pretty much in a really linear seed for about the first 45 minutes or something, and then finally it kind of opened up into people checking different things.
Yeah, it was pretty linear up through Aga actually.
Yeah, and even then after the Palace of Darkness, and then we got a little bit of opportunity to check out. I guess we got the hammer in there, so that started to open stuff up a little bit more.
Yeah, I was sort of expecting something like the hookshot over there. Or something. Everything but the hammer, actually.
Yeah, it was a late hook shot. And apparently I'm just watching Drizzt here going up through, trying to look for the big key in Ganon's tower. He just picked up the mushroom. It seems as though the silver arrows were on the witch, so it required a double dip into Ganon's tower to pick up that mushroom.
Oh my god. No way I'm gonna do that at any point in the game.
Yeah, that is not a play that you would make, ever.
I mean, there's a good opportunity to do that right after finishing Ganon's tower. Just hop over to the witch because you're close by, but other than that, nah, not really.
Yeah, if you didn't know that's where it was, there'd be no reason to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Unless you really wanted some potions. Maybe you might head over that way.
As we got Silveria making her way through her Aghanim 2 fight.
Trying to set up those double hits, that's tough to do, especially when they give you weird patterns.
But makes it through regardless.
Have a couple other folks who have finished here. Third place we had DKS89. Fourth place Data World. And our own Willard J. Bradley finished in 5th place. I like that text on Ganon talking about Impa. Is that specific from another game? Is that from Ocarina or one of the other Zelda titles?
That specific lore, I think, is from the background information from Zelda 1.
Oh, wow.
I think. Which is a little paradoxical when you consider that, according to the official Zelda timeline, Zelda 1 occurs in Link to the Past future.
I'll see if we got Lyra Silveria gets the torch glitch here. Pulls it off.
Yep. With that lamp, when you're right up against the torch, there's no way you're not getting it, really.
We have a 6th place finisher as well, 155.43 for Hayfield Bay.
As Dristy starts making his way up the gauntlet, we have Marty beginning the left side check.
Gonna be pretty happy by the end of it that it's not in tile room. That's all you're thinking at that point.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no! Severia taking a fall in phase 4. That's brutal.
Oh, that's awful.
Because that means you have to do the entire sequence again.
If you're a little bit low on health, you can head down to the bottom of the pyramid and get a fairy out of one of those trees nearby.
Yep, the left side tree. You just bonk, do it, and a fairy popped out.
But if you're out of magic, there's really no hope for you. You just have to leave and go find some more.
Yep.
Or hope you found a potion along the way that you haven't had to use. Getting a nice setup here for some quick hits on Ganon.
Yep, and this is basically the one point in time where you might want butter for Ganon, because it just makes it a little bit quicker.
Drizzt getting a little low on health here, trying to get through this last bit. But we'll be able to get a bit of health from that bubble, which is nice.
Turns out those may not actually be bubbles. I checked the wiki right quick, and I don't. It's the bubbles are the bats with the flames around them.
Uh-huh.
The name for that beam isn't actually given anywhere that I'm able to find.
I've heard people call them bunny pads.
Bunny pad, bunny beam. Marty about to find his big key in Bob's chest.
Gonna be happy to have that over with.
Yep.
Little bit low on magic to start out, but we'll have an opportunity to fill it up if necessary.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Lyra Silveria dodging the bats.
One interesting property about those bats is that they will push you in the opposite direction of what direction you're pushing. So if you do happen to get hit, the best thing you can do is actually let off the control pad.
You know, that is good to know, because there's nothing worse than getting hit by one of those bats and having that be what sends you off.
Yep. And Lyra Severia finishing off her Ganon fight and posting an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 52 seconds.
Very nice.
And it looks like we have Lyra waiting in our setup room. Let's see if we can grab her for an interview. Gonna wait for her to unmute her mic.
I'm seeing some needed to make a little comment in the SRL chat there to the tune of ugh.
Hello.
And we have Lyra Severia with us. GG.
GG.
Sorry about that Ganon fall there.
Well, there was the Ganon fall, there was the Moth, there was Troll's Arm. That whole run was a disaster.
Well, you
Games
did
is one
pretty
of
well
the
as far as
main-
we're concerned.
So what about that? What about that Turtle Rock of value?
Yeah, so I was looking at my map here, because it was like, alright, I haven't touched Village of Outcasts or Thieves Town at all. It's a pendant. 90% of the time when I ignore Pendant Thieves Town, it bites me in the butt. So let's ignore it again. And it's paid off.
Yep. About what ways through the siege you actually opted to get the golden sword from the floating island? What drove that decision?
I figured that if I was going to go into Turtle Rock, I'd rather have the golden sword because I didn't want to have the chance of dealing with the ice head making ice on the floor. And I was already kind of tilted from my previous 2 terrible boss fights, and I knew that if ice was on the floor with me tilted and playing bad, I was going to die to Trinex more than likely.
Very good reasoning.
Would have been nice if Trinex had had something a little bit more substantial for you, just a little bit of money.
Yeah, it looks like actually the silver arrows were on the witch today, which is something I personally haven't seen before.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, the text I'm sure you just saw it. It said arrow honing service, and I'm pretty sure that refers to silvers.
Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense.
In which case it is a dip into Ganon's tower to get the mushroom and then out again, which is annoying.
Oh, was the mushroom on the right side?
Yes.
My warm-up run earlier today, I actually had vanilla boots, which was interesting. Vanilla boots from a vanilla green pendant, actually. So 2 firsts today, I guess.
Yeah, none of our runners here today picked up the silvers, unsurprisingly. So we're going to see a lot of nice silverless Ganon. But yours was not so nice, unfortunately.
Well, if I didn't fall, it would have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really clean Ganon fight until that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Or as clean as the silverless fight's ever gonna get.
Right. My second time through, I think it was the second time, I accidentally poked Ganon sitting up for one of the spins, and that made me a little more frustrated. Missing out on one of the hits. Yeah, that was a fun seed.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch, and we just saw Dristy put the finishing touch on the pig.
Yeah, I'm already not too far behind. Just finishing up Aga 2 here.
And Dristy finishing in 9th place overall with an official SRTV time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 42 seconds.
I'm already getting some slashes in here. Getting ready for the end.
Yep, Marty can't be feeling too great about this seed. It's not been that much fun.
Yeah, the number of runners, just looking on the screen here in everybody's tracker, the number of them with full cleared or nearly full cleared dungeons is remarkable.
Oh, are you looking at the race page on SRL?
Just the amount of people who have completed pretty much every dungeon in this game. 2 of our runners fighting every boss, getting every pendant, getting a really disappointing pendant pedestal pull.
Yeah, that was really underwhelming. And we did see Marty get the torch glitch with that lantern. Really easy to get it, like I said. He is getting hugged by Ganon just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he is for health items. Nothing in his visible bottle. I know he's used a couple of things throughout the run, so he may have to be a little bit careful about his magic usage. Really nice silverless Ganon so far. Does have a blue potion, that's good.
Yeah, otherwise that would have been it.
That would have been so sad. Oh no.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And since he doesn't have another potion, he's gonna have to go get more. Gonna have to get more magic from somewhere.
Yeah. Let's see what he's got. Nope, no potions. Yeah, that's a good play.
And it'll reward him with the silvers too. I mean, if he's gonna go over there, I guarantee you he's gonna go drop off that mushroom and be very happy with what he gets.
And hopefully he remembers that he has it. I wouldn't blame him for forgetting, to be honest.
Yep, yeah, he forgot.
But he's got lots of money, so he's gonna have a lot of blue potions.
Yep. Nope. Yep. He forgot he had it. Gonna go straight back into the fight.
And it's hard to blame him. You wouldn't necessarily think that it would be worth anything at this point. Well, the chances of it being the silvers are so small.
But you're there anyway, and it's only a few seconds check.
Yeah.
So I mean, you might find an extra heart container out of it.
That's already heads back up the pyramid. It's gonna put Ganon in the ground once and for all.
Yep.
Does that first hit on Ganon that you can get when you fall in before he starts talking, does that actually do damage to him?
You know, I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm always gonna do it. I'm never gonna not. It just feels too good.
Oh, of course.
Especially if he's got one of those trolly messages like, you know, we just keep doing this. You know, I always find it's those. If you fall, it's nothing worse than falling when he's giving the, this feels like deja vu. Shout out to all the people who have put those fun little things in the game like blinds, puns, and all of Ganon's interesting facts about cheese and snails and things.
Yes, the dialogue writers for the randomizer are they're really funny. In fact, Andy and Christos both have NPCs that refer to them in the game.
That's right. Does Christos' one, if I remember correctly, does it reference checking the the back of the chicken hut?
One of them refers to looking for the bow. One of them refers to the ether medallion, which are items that plague those runners in one seed or another that they sort of took a million years to find. So it's kind of poking fun at them.
Right. Marty came close to falling off again. Held on. He's got lots of blue potions. Might as well take his time. Get this done.
Oh yeah, the uncle's quotes are also really funny. As Tiberius is saying in chat, one of his possible lines is refers to a runner Kanzion, who is apparently one of his Plando seeds was kind of mean. And Marty puts Ganon in the ground once and for all.
Very nice job from all our runners today. This was a really fun race to watch.
Marty finishing out with an official SRTV time of 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 11 seconds. Let's see if we can get Marty in for an interview and let him know where their silvers were.
Yeah.
And it looks like we got him here with us. Hey, Marty, how you doing? GG.
Hey, GG.
So, those silvers were actually on the witch.
Oh, okay. I thought I got the mushroom pretty late, so I didn't even bother.
Yeah, I've actually never seen the silvers on the witch before, and especially with that mushroom on the right side of GC, and you already in go mode. It's not the best play you could ever make.
Yeah, no, I figured, and I've pretty much exhausted all the other options at that point. I ended up doing all the dungeons too, so.
Yeah. What did you think about the Turtle Rock being the rock of value this time?
I kind of figured that's where it was. I went out of logic and checked with fake flippers first, but I really should have went to T-Rock though. 3 things in there: hook shot, flippers, and there was something else too.
And the boots.
Yeah, the boots. Yeah.
And that last
it was
item.
a really interesting seed.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was afraid I left something on Helmasaur, but turned out to be nothing.
Yeah, I was surprised when you left, but then I realized, okay, being a pendant at this point, is it time to, to march through and clear everything? Maybe not.
Yeah, I actually went in there without a map check, so I didn't even know it was a pendant. I checked afterwards, and I said, you know what, I'll just go check something else.
It's one advantage you have if you have music on, then you can tell if it's a pendant or a crystal by the music. But you can't if you've got music turned off, like a lot of folks do.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Mine was off. So.
Mm-hmm.
That seed was actually fairly linear up through Aga. Seed didn't really want to let you off the leash, really.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty linear too. It's just too bad that I ended up doing some checks before I went to T-Rock.
I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow. A pendant Turtle Rock?
Yeah, and then the flute on Bombos, which was pretty much one of the last checks I could do before doing DP. So.
Yeah, that was really fun too.
It's kind of interesting that Ice Rod wound up. I think that probably helped people make the decision to go to Turtle Rock, but it turned out that there wasn't anything on Trinex, so going, even if you did go and complete the whole thing, it wouldn't have actually, done much for you. Well, you just needed to get to those boots and the hook shot.
Yeah, I figured I was already at Laser Bridge, so might as well do Trinex. I mean, the flute could still be on there, so.
Yeah, I think everybody completed it. Why not? While you're up there, if you wouldn't want to have to go all the way through Turtle Rock again, if it was a pendant seed, for instance.
Yeah, might as well. And then, yeah, I also thought, what if that flute ends up being on PED? So.
But luckily, just a fetch quest item.
Any closing remarks, Marty? Anything? Any thoughts you had about the seed?
No, I think it went not too bad for the first time for restream, and considering I picked up the game only a couple of months ago.
Oh, that's good progress then. Yeah.
Yeah, nice job.
Thanks, and thank you for commentating, and thanks to the trackers and everybody watching.
Of course. Yeah, once again, our trackers for this match were Leave 18 and Link Force. GG to them. They have a lot harder job than Casa and I did, and thanks also to our to our runners, not only the runners in the restream, but the runners who were racing in the background. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, GG to everybody. This was really fun to watch, and yeah, great job done by everybody.
And also, I'd like to give a brief shout out to the Speed Gaming family of channels. Without their help, we wouldn't be able to do this either. Go ahead and follow them, Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6. As well as, if you want more Link to the Past Randomizer, the qualifiers for the summer tournament are still going on. Usually they'll be on the Speed Gaming channels as well. You can always check the schedule. As well as the Link to the Past Randomizer Twitch channels.
Yeah, there's a ton of content out there, so hey, check it out. There's lots of interesting stuff being run.
If there's nothing else, we should probably think about wrapping up, Casa. Thanks for commentating with me.
Hey, thank you. This was really fun. I appreciate having your guidance through doing this for the first time. It was a lot of fun.
Of course, you did very well.
Thanks. Well, I'll let you wrap up.
All right, I think that's going to do it for us here on Speed Gaming 2. Let me go ahead and check the schedule right quick. Okay, looks like let's wait for it to open. Looks like we got Celeste coming up at 5 p.m. on this channel. We also got The Simpsons Hit and Run on Speed Gaming 3, Undertale on Speed Gaming, and then later on this evening we have Zelda 1 Randomizer, Celeste, and then Shovel Knight at 7:30, 8, and 8:30. So we still got a good day of content for all you speed gamers out there. And that's going to do it for us today. I've been Claymore 729, joined by my commentator, Cataclysm.
Great to be here. Have a great night.
You as well.